Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm an American lay student of Ajahn Suchart, or Phra Ajahn Suchart Abhijato, who's given me his permission to read his books to you for free. Ajahn Suchart's books and talks are always free. Any ads you may see or hear in this recording are put there by Google for its own revenue, in exchange for letting us use their platform for free. Please forgive me for any mispronunciations of names or words, and for any background noises, as I'm just making these recordings in my apartment with an unruly dog, and sometimes otherwise random apartment noises that can happen in apartment living. I wanted to say this is the last recording in reading this book, which has been broken up into 12 segments. This is the last one. It's going to be longer in order to finish the book, or it would just be an awkward length for the last one. So we're going to go ahead and finish it today, which should be about a 30-minute recording, roughly. And we are resuming today on page 240. The mind that contemplates the body is not part of the body. The mind is only just the perceiver or the thinker. The mind happens to have the body as its possession, that is, to fulfill its various desires. When the mind wants to look at forms and listen to sounds, it needs the body as its means to do so. But once the mind is calm, then it no longer needs to rely on the body. The peace of mind from tranquility outweighs physical and sensual pleasures that come from seeing forms or listening to various sounds. With peace of mind, which is far superior to physical pleasures, there is then no longer any need for the physical body. When there is no such need, whether the body lives or dies is no longer a concern. If your mind is not yet calm, still not able to experience bliss from tranquility, it will then have to rely on your body to seek physical pleasures. If you're still relying on your physical body, there will then be concern for and attachment to it. There will be craving for your body to remain with your mind, because without your body, your mind won't be able to seek pleasures. It all comes down to letting go of your body. To be able to let go requires concentration and tranquility. There needs to be a sense of ease that arises from calm first. With that sense of ease from calm, you will be able to let go of things, such as your body, very easily. The physical pleasures won't be comparable to the peace of mind. You all have to make an effort to establish that peace of mind first, the bliss that comes from having your mind focused in concentration, mental one-pointedness, ekagata ramana, and equanimity upekkha. To make your mind focused and calm requires mindfulness. Mindfulness as a means will pull your mind together and inwards. Craving and desire are what constantly push your mind outwards through your body. For instance, craving for forms, sounds, odors, tastes, and touch will lure your mind out through the channels of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body in order to sense them. These sensual pleasures, which are temporary, will make you crave for more, thus preventing your mind from going inwards. Instead, your mind will constantly seek out forms, sounds, odors, tastes, and touch. If you let your mind do so, it will never be at ease. Your mind can only find peace when you disengage it from forms, sounds, odors, tastes, and touch, pulling it back and away from your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, and rein it inwards. To do so requires mindfulness, which can be done through any means of meditation subjects, whether you choose the recollection of death, the Buddha, the body, or any other subject. There are 40 different meditation subjects to cultivate mindfulness, called the 40 kammatthana. The 40 meditation subjects or recollection techniques are means to cultivate both mindfulness and wisdom. For instance, the recollections of death and foulness of the body, asupa, help foster both mindfulness and insight. If they somehow don't suit you, you can first use other techniques, such as focusing your mind on your breathing, anapanasati, on your body, kayagata sati, or on the Buddha, buddhanusati. They are to help your mind become concentrated and gain samadhi. With your mind being focused in samadhi and at ease, the peace of mind will enable you to stop relying on your body. You'll be able to stop resorting to things as a means to bring you peace and happiness. Such calm is much superior to any other kind of happiness. If you were to think of it in terms of products, it would be the most valuable and expensive. It is as if you had something that is worth more and better than what you already have. For instance, if you were given a choice of a new, more valuable house and your current old house, you'd naturally choose the new one. Or if you were offered the latest model and most expensive car in exchange for your current old car, you'd naturally take the offer because it is better than what you have currently. It is just the same with the happiness that we experience at the moment. The sensual pleasures from forms, sounds, odors, tastes, and touch are not comparable to peace of mind. When your mind is focused in samadhi, you'll see readily the difference between these two and know which one to choose. Once you've experienced such ease and calm, even just once and for a short while, it will make you satisfied, giving you a sense of proper determination, chanda, and appreciation to search for this kind of happiness instead of the old kinds. With the right determination comes the diligence and the effort to cultivate mindfulness more and more frequently. The more mindfulness you have, the calmer your mind will be. With little and sporadic mindfulness, your calmness will be small and intermittent. With constant mindfulness, your calmness will be continual. Practitioners who have experienced the one-pointedness of their minds will see the value of cultivating mindfulness. Once you've experienced samadhi and a blissful feeling arises from your peaceful mind, you'll then want to rid yourself of all the things you have. Possessions, money, and other things are not comparable to the peace of a calm mind. A taste of Dhamma outdoes any other taste. Whoever gets a chance to experience it, even just for a moment, will appreciate it so much that they will no longer want anything else. It is as if you've tasted just a drop of a particular dish. You appreciate it so much that you no longer want any other dishes. What you've tasted is so much better than anything else. That's what the taste of Dhamma is like. The taste of Dhamma is a taste of tranquility, one that is derived from continually cultivating mindfulness. If you don't yet have the diligence or the effort to develop mindfulness, you'll have to bear in mind the results of cultivating mindfulness through sustained effort. You need to remind yourself that the results will outweigh anything you have at the moment. If you're aware that the results of your diligence will be greater than the things that you have, you'll then have the motivation to sustain your effort and to continually cultivate mindfulness. With sustained effort, you'll surely reap a result sooner or later. If there is a will, there is a way. It all comes down to your diligence. Dhamma practitioners shouldn't overlook the importance of diligence. You should always have it in your mind. As soon as you awake, you need to instantly tell yourself to start practicing, to cultivate mindfulness. You'll need to get rid of things that are in your way of keeping up with your mindfulness and effort. If your work is in the way, then try to cut down on it. If you still have to make a living, do just enough so that you can afford what you need. Don't acquire more than what is necessary to afford the basic necessities. Food, shelter, medication, and clothing are all you need to take care of your body. This is so that you can make use of your body for cultivation, to sustain your diligence and effort, to develop mindfulness, to cultivate wisdom, and to practice meditation. Don't do more than that. There is no use in doing so. Anything that is more than what you really need to afford the basic necessities will not be able to give you peace of mind. It won't give you the taste of Dhamma, which outdoes any other taste. You'll have more time to dedicate to the continual practice of cultivating mindfulness. And I am scrolling to the next teaching on page 246. You need to get rid of any obstacle that prevents you from putting effort into your practice. It is as if you were walking along a path and there was a branch or something in your way. What would you do? You would need to get rid of it if you wanted to get through. You need to rid yourself of any impediment to your diligence and effort. These obstacles are not worth it or of any use to your mind. Although they might be of use to your former ways of seeking happiness, but once you've experienced the happiness that comes from cultivating mindfulness, you'd rather cut off these impediments. You know that they can't make your mind at ease and calm. For instance, if you're still attached to television programs and other social activities, you'll need to weigh the happiness you gain from watching television and doing those activities against the peace of mind that comes from your practice. You need to figure out which kind of happiness lasts and which doesn't. If you use your wisdom to consider these things, you'll see that all the happiness you have previously sought after and experienced is temporary and fleeting. It is not in any way gratifying or fulfilling because it is the kind of happiness gained through your physical body. When you die, that is, your body ceases to be, you'll need to look for a new one to be reborn. Having been born, you'll then be subject to aging, illness, and death again. If you instead seek happiness through peace of mind, you'll experience lasting happiness because it is within your heart. It will never deteriorate once you know how to cultivate it. You'll know how to maintain it and be able to do so that it stays in your heart forever. You will no longer need your body to search for pleasure and happiness. When your body dies, you won't need to come back for a new one and be subject to aging, illness, and death again. You'll be liberated from suffering due to your diligence and effort, just as the Buddha said and taught. Once you've compared the two kinds of happiness, you'll see that peace of mind is the real happiness, the kind of happiness you should aim for. You'll need to get rid of any obstacles that lie in the way of such happiness, be they social functions or other responsibilities. If you already make enough for a living, then there is no concern. Why should you need to earn more? It is rather pointless. You may claim that you're doing it for someone else, but why should you even do that? Wouldn't it be better to teach them how to gain peace of mind? You can invite them along to practice meditation with you so that they will experience real happiness. For those who still need to earn money in order to provide other people with certain quality of living, who would support them if you died or if something were to happen to you? They would have to take care of themselves regardless. Bearing that in mind, you'll be able to detach yourself from personal and familial ties and other obligations. This is so that you have time to put towards diligence and effort to develop mindfulness and to practice meditation to calm your mind. Once you've experienced peace of mind, you can use the faculty of wisdom to maintain it further. Craving is what will spoil your peace of mind. It is something that cannot be eradicated through mindfulness and concentration. Mindfulness and concentration only suppress it temporarily. But when your mind is active and proliferating, craving will arise. When it does, and you let it act out, it will ruin your peace of mind. So you must resort to wisdom when there is craving. Your wisdom will show you that whatever your craving is after brings you more suffering than happiness, since such happiness is so short-lived. Longing for sensual pleasures through forms, sounds, odors, tastes, and touch will only make you happy while basking in them. But the pleasures quickly fade away as soon as you're not in contact with the stimuli. And when that happens, you crave for more. So you constantly need and crave these sensual pleasures. When you can't have them, you get frustrated. This is a lesson that you have to remind yourself not to indulge your craving. It is better to stay put, to calm your mind, and to stop your craving. With both wisdom and mindfulness, you will be able to resist your craving. When you can resist and don't indulge your craving, it will subside and eventually not recur. When there is no craving, your mind will constantly be still, calm, and at ease. The role of wisdom is to constantly remind you that indulging your craving will not bring you happiness, but only more suffering. Not indulging your craving is instead what makes you happy. By indulging your craving, the very things that you long for will make you suffer. You will become possessive of, concerned for, and attached to whatever you manage to get hold of. You will not want to lose what you've gained. However, it is only natural for all the things in this world of which you've managed to acquire due to your craving to deteriorate and become depleted. They are bound to end. And when that happens, a sense of suffering will arise. The role of wisdom is to eradicate all the various cravings from your mind, whereas mindfulness or concentration is only used to suppress them temporarily. For instance, when you are recollecting death, you won't be able to think of other things or other people. When you don't, your mind is free of craving. When your mind is calm and has stopped thinking, all of your various cravings will also cease along with your thoughts. Your thoughts are the means of your craving. When there is no thought, your craving will vanish. When there is no craving, your mind will be calm, happy, and at ease. As soon as you start thinking about things and other people, craving will arise and chase away your peace of mind. These are the things that will calm your mind and also the things that will ruffle it. Either mindfulness or wisdom is what will give you peace of mind and happiness. With mindfulness, your mind will be calm temporarily. With wisdom, your mind can be calm permanently. In the beginning, you have to first rely on mindfulness as a means to calm your mind, since you still lack wisdom. If your mind is not calm enough to use wisdom, it may make you depressed rather than calm when you try to reflect on the possibility of death. It may discourage, bore, or even frighten you, which would prevent you from further developing your insight. You have to first calm your mind by cultivating mindfulness through other techniques, such as the recollections of the Buddha and the body. You have to constantly watch the movement of and changes in your body to prevent your mind from thinking about other things and other people. When you do your sitting meditation, you can watch your breathing or recite Bhutto. If your mind can stay with one thing or the other, soon enough your mind will be focused and reach a state of calm. When your mind is calm, other negative emotions that arise from contemplating the truth, such as death, will be suppressed by your peace of mind. When you withdraw initially from your concentration, your peace of mind will still be fully intact, and so you should easily use that period to contemplate the possibility of death. You will not then feel depressed and instead understand in your mind your body's subjection to death. No one can prevent the body from dying. I'm scrolling to the next teaching on page 252 on this subject. This craving to live or to not die will create unnecessary suffering. Having discerned this truth, you'd rather give in to dying than suffer when you have to face it. The sense of suffering is, in fact, harmful to your mind, whereas the death actually isn't. Death is detrimental to your body. Your body, however, does not react to it, as it is not aware of its own death. So when you've developed wisdom, you'll be able to prevent your mind from wanting not to die. When you're able to do that, then you will not be bothered by your death, and therefore can die peacefully. This is what practicing Dhamma to liberate oneself from all suffering entails. You must maintain your diligence in order to liberate yourself from suffering. You must constantly sustain your effort to practice from the moment you awake until the moment you go to sleep. The Buddha taught monks to start practicing from the moment they rise. As soon as they wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, they should do walking and sitting meditation. They should cultivate their wisdom depending on their level of Dhamma. When it is time for them to carry out their daily routine, they should remain mindful of each activity, going on alms round, eating and washing and drying their bowls. They need to stay focused on the tasks at hand. When they finish with their duties and return to their living quarters, they should then alternate between walking and sitting meditation. If they are tired or lack energy, they may rest for an hour or so during the day. They should then carry on with their walking and sitting meditation after they rest until it is time to sweep. Afterwards, they may have their allowable drinks, take a shower, and wash their robes. They can then resume walking and sitting meditation until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. They should sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and once they awake at 2 or 3 in the morning, they should start all over again, carrying on practicing. This is what being diligent entails. It involves sustaining your effort to motivate your mind to cultivate various Dhamma qualities, especially mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Your mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, liberation from suffering, is undoubtedly bound to occur. It is the way that the Buddha and his noble disciples have passed and used to achieve good results, which they have passed on to us. If you have faith and confidence in them and put their way into practice, there is no doubt, then, that you will reap the very same results that the Buddha and his noble disciples did. The reason why such a result has yet to occur for you is due to your lack of diligence and effort, unlike the Buddha's and his noble disciples. You may have the effort, but you're putting it in the wrong place. Instead of being diligent with cultivating Dhamma, for instance, developing mindfulness and wisdom, you put your effort towards worldly gains, prestige, and praise. You put it towards sensual pleasures through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. So instead of being free from suffering, you've ensnared yourself in more suffering, the suffering of birth, aging, illness, and death, and of the endless cycle of rebirth and death. The effort you put towards worldly gains, prestige, praise, and sensual pleasures through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body requires a physical body. With a physical body as a means when you're alive, your craving for such happiness will impel your mind to look for a new body at the moment of your death. Your desires to seek pleasures from worldly gains and praise, and through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, don't die with your body, but instead remain with your mind. They will make you go through multiple cycles of birth, aging, illness, and death until you direct your effort away from those sensual pleasures and worldly gains, that is, towards seeking peace of mind through the cultivation of mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. If you manage to redirect your effort away from worldly gains and sensual pleasures, and instead towards seeking peace of mind through the cultivation of mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, you will then be free from the suffering inherent in the endless cycle of rebirth and death. This is because you will no longer need to rely on your body. You'll have the Dhamma as your refuge. It is this very Dhamma that will give you peace of mind. It will allow you not to rely on your body as a means for worldly gains, prestige, praise, and sensual pleasures through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. When you no longer need your body, you will no longer have to be reborn. You'll be permanently liberated from all suffering. This is what the Buddha taught. Quote, "You can only be liberated from suffering through your diligent effort." End quote. Please focus on and aim for maintaining your diligence and effort in your practice. Try to remind yourself from now on that you have to be diligent with your practice from the moment you awake. You can sustain your effort by continually cultivating your mindfulness through reciting Bhutto, recollecting death, or watching the movement of your body. These practices are considered maintaining your diligence and effort. If you do them continually, you'll see a result. Tranquility will arise. When you've experienced peace of mind and discerned its value and the bliss from it, you will then want to maintain it. You will use your wisdom to get rid of things that tamper with such calm. With wisdom, you will be able to eradicate all of the craving and desire that hinder your peace of mind. When your craving has been eliminated by your wisdom, there will be nothing to spoil such bliss. The joy from tranquility is insurmountable, resulting in the highest form of bliss, or Paraman Sukham. Your mind will be enlightened, having reached Nibbana, and be free from the endless cycle of rebirth and death. This is the goal of our lives, the goal of maintaining your diligence and effort, and of cultivating Dhamma, for instance, mindfulness and wisdom. It is all for liberation, vimutti. Please take what I've said about diligence and effort into consideration for your practice in order to liberate yourself from suffering. That is the end of the book. There is a beautiful glossary, a very nice, thorough glossary at the end of this book. If you're interested in that, you can download the book for free. There's also a map of the alms round that where Ajahn Suchart takes his monks, and the monks' schedule is also listed in the back. It's kind of fun and interesting to look at. You can download the book on Ajahns website, prasuchart.com, prasuchart.com, or on kamattana.com, KAMMATTHANA.com. You can download the book for free. If you want a hard copy of the book, you can contact Phra Ajahns assistant, and you can find that email address on his Facebook page, which is called Dhamma for the Asking. Dhamma spelled DHAMMA, Dhamma for the Asking on Facebook, and which is where you can also find out about his live Q&A sessions that you can join. And also on his website, you can find the email for his assistant on prasuchart.com. I'll see you next time in the next book. Thank you for listening. With metta. Bye-bye.